many apps on your phone? Do you have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram? More than likely, you have at least one of these, if not more. Now think about the time you spend on each social media site. Multiply that by 365, and that's how much time you spend on social media a year. According to Jason Mander of Global Web Index, last updated January 26, 2015, on average, a person spends 1.72 hours a day on social media. That's 627.8 hours a year, which equals 26 days. Communication is a very useful skill, but social media is making it easier to ignore interpersonal communication or face-to-face communication. The time we spend on social media can cause deception and misunderstanding, and worst of all, it can affect our face-to-face communication skills. We are constantly on the go. Every day is filled with things to do, some better than others, but according to Jason Mander, we spend 30% of our day on social media. My mother is a very active person. She's always looking for a new project to keep herself busy, but she also spends a lot of time on her phone, normally Facebook or trying to Snapchat me. After getting on her phone though, it's harder for her to want to get up and do more work. Twitter and Snapchat are very popular sites. However, Facebook is the most popular site, normally with adults, but it still has around 1.44 billion users around the world. The only other social media site that is anywhere close to the amount of users as Facebook is YouTube, with about 1 billion users per month. According to Jillian Diafrau of Business Insider's last updated July 8, 2015, adults spend 20 minutes a day on Facebook, scrolling through posts, looking at pictures, or even posting. She quotes in her article a writer from Needham saying, "If time is money, then Facebook represents the most valuable internet property of today's society." However, with the addition of social media sites, Facebook is losing its popularity and people are spending less time than they were on a year ago or two. We know how much time adults spend on Facebook, but what about teens? How much time do we really spend on social media? We are living in a time where just about everyone has a smartphone and carries the world in their pocket. While smartphones are a great invention and help us communicate easier, they also make it easier to access social media sites. According to Kelly Wallace of CNN, last updated November 3rd, 2015, teens spend around 9 hours a day on social media sites. That's 38% of a day. This may sound like a lot, but when you think about it, now that Snapchat is around, that consumes a ton of time for teens. Mix that with texting, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you get the point. With all of these social media sites, it adds up more time that we are on them. When I was a kid, I was outside constantly. My parents had to drag me inside and away from my friends. But now it's completely opposite. Parents are having to drag their kids outside, away from their computers, phones, tablets. With all this time we spend online, how much of what we're reading is really true? We all tend to embellish when we're posting on social media. So it's harder for us to really pick out what is completely true and what's not. It is easier on social media to get the word out about something than it is by word of mouth. It's also easier to lie about something and not get so many questions about it. Social media has become a place for all people of all ages to escape reality and create their own perfect world. In our perfect world, we don't want anyone to think something is wrong with our family, so we tend to only put the good stuff on social media. According to Liv Raymond of HuffPost Health Living, last updated November 9, 2015, the photographs that are being posted are inaccurate representations of real beauty, real happiness, and real life. These pictures really cause issues because they set standards for families, females, and everybody, and we truly forget what the meaning of life is and what the meaning of true beauty is. When people see all of those other great posts from family and friends, it makes them want to show their friends and family that they are having just as much fun. Jealousy is one of our biggest flaws as humans. It makes us do dumb things such as lie, and sometimes this can cause some serious repercussions. Sometimes the lies that we post can come back and really hurt our friendships and relationships. Misunderstandings also occur when you post on social media. You can say something about someone, or you can say something about anything, and someone can take it a totally different way and think it's directed towards them. Lying and misunderstanding online can really cause difficulties with people, but it also, with time we spend on social media, can affect our communication skills. In today's age, it is next to impossible to not communicate on a phone or a computer or any type of social media. And social media is just adding to the difficulties of interpersonal communication. When you think about it, when was the last time you sat down for a meal or a conversation and didn't go check your Facebook posts or your Twitter posts? Unfortunately, that has just become a part of our lives. Anytime we take a break, whether spending time with someone or just relaxing at home, we take advantage of and use that time to update our status or snap a picture of what we're supposed to be doing. Mara Keller, a writer for Social Work Today, wrote, "Social media's effects on our ability to interact and communicate is visible throughout all areas of society." She also explains about how looking at our phones while having a conversation is to avoid eye contact, which can be kind of awkward for people. Paul Booth, PhD, an assistant professor of media and cinema studies in the College of Communications at DePaul University in Chicago, held a study that proved that people are becoming more social, just not face-to-face. He talks about how it's easier to say something online over a text or email than it is to say it in person to someone's face, such as breaking up. It's easier to send a text saying we're done than to meet up and have to watch the other person be sad or, in some cases, happy. Social media also has caused major damage with cyberbullying. As I said before, it's easier to say something to someone online than it is in person, and cyberbullying is a huge example. Sam Laird has published on Mashable Lifestyles that about 42% of teenagers get bullied online a year, and 81% of teens agreed that it's easier to bully online than in person. Cyberbullying doesn't just hurt the person online, but it can also cause pain in their lives, and sometimes it can lead to bullying at school, and for many other people. Sadly, about 20% of cyberbully victims think about suicide, and 1 in 10 attempt suicide. Most teens get bullied on Facebook and Twitter. Nicholas David Brauman, PhD and assistant professor of communication studies in the Elberly College of Arts and Sciences at West Virginia University, explains that social media is more public, but it hides us from being seen by all these people, which is why so many cyberbullying attempts happen. Communication is a very useful skill, but social media is making it easier to ignore interpersonal communication and cause harm to others through the internet. Take a break from social media and try to experience the world around you.